kind of a long list, so let's get to it. My first book is The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. I think everyone knows her by her famous series, which is Fort Wing. And I was really interested about this book, and I was getting hooked, but I got rewinded back and releasing 10. So after reading those, I didn't want to pick up another kind of physical book. Now that I'm ready for it, I think it will be amazing to be back on this book. And if you don't know what this book is, it's mainly about our main character Georgia, whose great-grandmother left her all of her rights and the inheritance to her house and everything. But since she has the rights of the book, here we have our main character, which is Noah, and he's an author who his career was going on a downfall, but now seeing that he can give it an ending to the book that her grandma wrote, because her grandma was an author, he's really excited about it. And in here we have two romance stories, which we go in the present with Georgia and Noah, and then we go in the past with Georgia's grandma and her love interest. And I'm really excited to see why they didn't end up together and what really happened. My first book, it will be also a pause one, and it's Deepened by Ali Hazelwood. I put a pause in this one because TikTok was really bothering me with spoilers. So I don't know, I was really hooked at the beginning, and then I was like, I got myself spoiled. So I was like, I don't know. I just got like 100 pages left maybe in the book, and I think the hype has passed, so maybe I can finish it within a day and not seeing TikTok with spoilers anymore. And this book is about two college students, which they're both on the swim team, trying to figure out life, career-wise, and they get into this situationship, and it's kind of messy. That's why it's confusing and also intriguing how they got into that situationship. So far, so good. I have liked it, so I will finish it and give my full review. My next book is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. When I first bought it, I didn't know it was also a part of the Caraval series, and I have it on my TBR list, Caraval. And since I haven't read Caraval, I don't want to read this book, so it isn't on my TBR like most closely. I want to know the hype of this book because I think everyone knows this book on Book Talk. And to read Caraval this series for the first time, I think will be so good. But I know I don't have to read the Caraval series to read this one. And if you tell me that this one is worth the hype to read without Caraval, I will read it. But I do really want to read at least the first book of Caraval first. For my second book is Chicken Meat, which is also about Ali Hazelwood. As you can tell, I really like Ali Hazelwood, and it will be interesting for me to read how she writes in a young adult kind of version, not STEM field like I have read from her. I think it's really, I have seen reviews from this book, and they say it's really cheesy, really romantic, really like in a funny way. It does really feel like an Ali Hazelwood book. Yeah, so it's really interesting to see how she writes a young adult book. Yeah. My next book is a very popular too, which is Fearless. I have read the other two. I don't remember if I read them last year. The other two, I read Powerless and the Powerful novella, and I read Reckless. So I'm really excited to see what is the final part of this trilogy. If you don't know what this is about, it's basically about a girl being powerless in a kind of land with powers, and she goes to a trial where you're not supposed to be powerless, and she's trying to make them believe that she does have powers. And I am really excited to see how Lauren Roberts finished her first series, her first book, which is Powerless. And I am really amazed by how much her writing style is, which is so, I don't know, kind of amazing to see because she's like 22, 23 years old, and seeing her release her first book at 21 is really inspiring. So I think I would really like to see how this book ends, and let me know if it's good, because I've read a little bit, not spoilers, but reviews of people telling that it's not good or they don't really like it. But I like Reckless when people didn't really like it, so let's see.
So for my next book is going to be The 7 Years Slip. I want to read this book because she told me that it's a lake house movie kind of situation, and I think it would be really interesting to see how a movie can go into a book, like how the plot twist gets into words instead of like physical scening.
It's not similar, like it's not the same, but it does have kind of the same plot. So if you like The Lake House, I'll recommend this book, and if you love this book, I will recommend The Lake House. And
it's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie. My next book is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and the amazing part about this book is I know nothing about it except what I have read in the reviews that I watch on YouTube, which is why I bought it, because I wanted to jump on Kristen Hanna and see the hype that she gets, and especially this book. And since it's going to be a TV adaptation, I like to read the books first and seeing the movie or the TV show or everything. I'm kind of excited to see how it will be book, because I know nothing about it except that there are two sisters, and one wants to help with war and the other one has to stay and be a supportive wife because her husband, I think it's a soldier, or I don't know what. I haven't even read the backside. I just bought it, and I am really excited to see a movie. I don't know if it's going to be a movie or a TV show. I think a movie.
I've been debating myself, or kind of questioning myself once you told me who the cast
was
will be,
going to be.
because it's gonna be
Dakota
Fanning
and Elle
Fanning. Well, it will be really interesting to see them both acting as sisters, and also who's gonna be who, because Dakota has done some jobs like more of an, not rude, but I don't know, like kind of strong woman, like in Twilight. He's like very,
She's like not the villain exactly,
but she's villainy.
Yes.
But Elle Fanning also has made some like feminist roles.
Yes.
So I don't know. It will be interesting who's who and how they
will show the TV adaptation.
Next book, it will be the Akatar series. Akatar series. As you can see, I know nothing about
fantasy
about it. So I think it will be really interesting to start reading or get into fantasy, and I think this series is the best to start because of the hype.
The hype that it has. And this book is kind of Beauty and the Beast.
But this book, these two characters, or
these two characters. Now that we mentioned these amazing books, I will be saying that I haven't finished these other 3 books about her, and the reason that I haven't finished this series is because I am waiting for Sarah J. Maas to announce the 6th book, which I know she will announce, and I hope she will announce soon, because I'm really excited to see what will happen, and I don't want to drop any spoilers because she hasn't read anything. I already read Akamath, which is A Court of Mist and Fury, and I read like 10% of Aquawar, so I'm really excited to see what will happen in the next books and how will be finished, like the series. Maybe we could do a reading blog when the announce drops to see our different perspective of the books and what we think of each other.
And next book of mine is also a series. I want to get into Anna Horn reading mine, but I picked this one from our library because I know from all the tropes and all the characters and all the couples, I will like Twisted Kings more, I think. I hope.
Maybe, I don't know, because we have different tastes. For
Yeah.
me, it's Twisted Lies, my favorite book of the series. My next book is Stalking Jack the Ripper, and I have already read this book, but I do want to comment that I do want to follow the next 3 books on this series, which is by Carrie Maniscalco. You know her by her other series, which is The Falling of Secrets. I think it's the new one, and the other one I think is The Kingdom of the Curse, which I know are really good series, but I do see that this series is not really well known. And this book is amazing for me. If you don't know what this is about, it's basically what the title says, which is stalking Jack the Ripper on London in the 1880s. And you see our main character going to solve the mystery with the other main character, and it's amazing the duo that they have. But when I bought this book, I didn't know it was the whole series about them. I thought they were different couples, but now that I know they were about them, I will read them continuously because I do like the mystery that they have, and the next plots that the other books have, I think will be kind of interesting.
Next book for me is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I know, as you've seen, I'm really late on some books, usually the hype ones, but I like to read at my pace. I don't like to rush myself, and I also don't like to get spoiled, like already got with Deep End, and that pissed me off so much, so I was like, so freaking pissed.
I'm so freaking pissed.
So yeah, that's why I like to read when the hype's already passed. I really like to read this one when the TV adaptation is announced, so I can compare both versions. I have seen that the authors really into the TV adaptation, like they dip in, I don't know if it's the script or the cast.
My next book, I was going to say my second book. My next book is Fourth Wing. I have already read this one, but I am debating on starting and following this series because I don't know if it's not worth the hype, but worth the like following, because I know they're big books, and I don't know. I just haven't bought Iron Flame and Onyx Storm to really know what's happening, but I do want to continue the series.
Next book of mine is Better Than the Movies by Dean Painter, and I really want to read this one. I think it will be a good starter for me to get into Dean Painter books. I went to Barnes last week and I saw her new book that's Made for Each Other. I really liked the synonyms about it. I read the back and I was laughing out loud in the library. And yeah, I really liked rom-com movies, and I love when books get to, for you to feel like that. Like if you're watching a rom-com movie.
Because for me it is like a so rom-com, and it reminds me kind of this one, Better Than the Movies, of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, because the awkwardness that I love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but sometimes the awkwardness are like, oh my god, and sometimes this book feels kind of that, but I do love
like
rom-coms.
the vibe of
the vibe.
I think that is a key for making a good rom-com movie.
Yeah.
Of like the awkwardness of some
situations. Between
the characters.
That the main character gets to have. Next read, I think all the books are fantasy except for one's, but it will start fantasy season soon. So my next book that I paused because I read too much fantasy last year, and I wasn't getting the mood of it. It's Stolen Air by Holly Black, and I want to jump in on it again because I love Holly Black's universe and her writing style, her characters. And if you don't know what it's about, it's basically about Oak's story with Gran, which they appear on the Folk of the Air series, which is The Cruel Prince. Oak is Jude's little brother, and Gran appears, I think, in book 2 or 3. I don't remember which, if it's The Wicked King or The Queen of Nothing. I think in both. But I was really enjoying this book, but I wasn't in the mood for fantasy, so I stopped it, and I was like, okay, I'll read it when the fantasy mood starts.
My almost final book, it's The Wild Winnipeg and Me, and I really want to read this book because I remember that I want to read it a few years ago because of the hype I would love to see an enemies to lovers because they are, and I love enemies to lovers tropes. And I haven't read it yet because I will get frustrated that we're not getting into anything. So I need a lot of patience for this book, which I don't have right now. So.
Because Marina Zapata is the queen of the slow burn.
But maybe that will get me into reading it fast.
Yes.
Because I want
to know more. Because that's what it got me. I wanted to know more about what will happen.
But I'm waiting myself because I know there's another version of it and it has like bonus content or something like that. So I don't know if I should get that one.
My last book is Accomplice to the Villain, which is also a book in a trilogy. It's the third book and I think the final book in this Assistant to the Villain's trilogy. And I am really excited to read this book. I think I will read it after I finish The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. I think we'll go with this one by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I think she's also, for me, she goes also with Marina Zapata with the slow burn, because oh my god, with this book and the slow burn, they barely kissed like on the second book and I was like, oh my god. And this book is if you love fantasy, if you want to laugh a little bit, because with this little tiny frog in the signs, if you can see, he is hilarious. I love Kingsley. He drops these cards that he has in this, I don't know, tabloid. I don't know what to call it. I don't remember what he calls it. But he drops words like yes or no or something when it is a very serious topic on what they're doing in the world and everything, and then he drops like no. So I do really enjoy this series, and I do really like our main character. And if you haven't read this series, the first book goes around Evie, who is a normal girl until he found out the villain, and she works for him. And I do imagine this little town, because it's, for me, it's like a little fantasy town, and it's really amazing to see how it will be the finish this series, and I am waiting for it. So I think it will be my second read, and I will give my thoughts on the whole series.
My last book is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas, and I really want to read this one before summer ends, so I think I will read it after Deep End. And I'm really into dating, into enemies to lovers and rom-comedy kind of trope. That's why I want to read it, because of the similarities that it has to The Hating Game, and I love Hating Game. Is one of my favorite books. I love when she has more hate of him and he's actually in love with her, but just bothers her because he likes it a lot, and it's like the best part of his day. So yeah. So this video's come to an end. We were a little bit nervous because this is our first video, but I hope beside that you enjoy our TBR Diaries kind of physical edition, because we do have online or books that we haven't bought. We will be reading the books that we already mentioned. For me, it's gonna be Deep End, and then The Spanish Love Deception. For her, it's gonna be
The Things We Leave Unfinished, and I think it's Accomplice to the Villain.
Yeah, so we will be doing a blog about we like it, if we are reading the fast page, if we don't, if whatever.
Any ratings, comments, anything.
Yeah. And we will have more videos coming, so I hope you really enjoyed this one. I already told you that. If you do, please subscribe and hit the like button.
Yeah, and let us know if you have any of these books also on your TBR, or if you have read them and what do you recommend, and basically anything related. So, or anything. Thank you.